So many cards are coming out so fast, you guys. It's hard to keep track of them. We got to get Mama Geekseh's opinion about how fast they're coming out and how hard it is to keep track of it.
Hello.
Mom, these cards are coming out fast and the furious like. It's crazy.
Did they release a Vin Diesel card yet? The next expansion should be Fast and the Furious themed.
Yeah, I would really love to see a Domoretto card, Mom. What do you think its power level would be? They just released a new legendary minion for Warrior. His name's Darius Crowley. He's a 5-cost 4/4 with Rush, and every time this attacks and kills a minion, it gets +2/+2. Is that right? That's right? That doesn't seem that... Really? Okay. I guess so. I guess if they say it's right, it's right. This card is by no means threatening. Is it no means game changing? And that's what you kind of want from those minions. When you get a legendary minion, you want it to change the feel of your whole deck, right? Because if you're a free-to-play player, when you get a legendary minion, you want it to be like, oh man, my deck just got so much better. I gotta stop saying deck, so deck. Is anyone else hearing something else? Deck. Like I was saying, guys, when you pull a legendary minion, you want it to change the whole feel of your deck. You want your deck to get so powerful, it's crazy, right? So, and that's the thing, right? When you pull out a legendary minion, you want it to be a game changer. At least add some oomph to whatever deck you're playing at the current time. But this, I'm not sure it will. If you play it, say on 4, you coin it out, there's a good chance it could become like a Leroy on your board, right? Say it goes into a 3/2, it could become a 6/2, which isn't bad. I'm not sure if it survives if it goes into another 4/4. You know, kind of like the Finja thing. Like if Finja attacks into, say, a 4/2, and then it pulls out, say, a War Leader or something, it survives. But I'm not sure if it does that with this one, but say it does, it's still a somewhat threatening card, but not that threatening. I don't know if this is going to actually, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to have a place in the meta. I'm willing to bet a lot of money. It is a fun card. I like the idea of it. I think they could have gave it a little more stats, but I understand why they didn't, because then it would become maybe Berserker like, right? A little too out of hand really fast. So if they would have made this 4, I think it would have been a game changer for sure. Coining this out on 3, I think would have been way better for this card. But I think with them just keeping it at 5 just makes it kind of a meh card. Like if you pull this card, you're going to be disappointed. No one pulling this card in the first week is going to be like, yay! They're going to be kind of disappointed. Does it have a place in the meta? For sure. If there is all this aggro happening and then, you know, you're playing this card, you know, it's good because then it turns into a 6/5 if it goes into a 1/1. Say it's there's tokens everywhere and it goes into something and then becomes a 6/5. It gets crazy, right? So there is a place for this only if the meta is like a token aggro heavy kind of place, but I'm not too sure if that's going to be specifically only token heavy, right? So say it's good against that one deck like token aggro, but then against every other control deck it's just garbage. So I don't think this is gonna have a place. Doesn't seem like it should be a legendary. This seems like an epic to me. It's kind of a waste for Warrior. I feel bad that Warrior is getting this, to be honest. I love Warrior, but thankfully I think the other legendary minion that's coming out for Warrior is way better than this. A Hunter Dragon just got announced for a Hunter, and that's pretty kooky crazy. Guys, it's named Amorous. It's a 10-cost minion that's 8/8, and its battle cry is double the health and attack of the minions in your hand. This being a dragon, guys, means that we can get it from Bone Drake, which is pretty rad, especially when you're playing an arena with Bone Drake. That's such a good card that if you play it and you get this card, you can change your whole game plan. I don't know if you'd be able to still, you know, win because now you're thinking about keeping minions in your hand, and a lot of times arena is about tempo. But the thing here, guys, is that it's just so much mana. It's 10. That's a lot. Usually by Hunter wants to control the board and kill you by turn 7 or 8. Will this see play? That's the question, right? We're talking about competitive, guys. We're not talking about, you know, fun decks, because yeah, this is going to be really fun in some crazy fun decks, but in competitive play, this isn't going to see play. There's never been a control Hunter. There's been mid-range and there's been aggro, but they haven't had enough cards to play the control long game ever, really, let alone have enough cards in your hand for you to really benefit from this card. Everyone's saying King Crush, 16/16 charge. Yeah, that's great. On turn 11, if you get that, you can close out the game. But again, you need this activator, right? You need King Crush in your hand, you need this in your hand, and you need to survive 11 turns as Hunter while controlling the board with this, and it giving you value. Where I do see this being really cool is with Deathstalker Rexar. It's a cool combo card with your zombies, but again, most of the time you're not keeping your zombies in your hand. If you do, this was awesome. If you can control the board with Hunter and you can buff your zombies or your King Crush or whatnot, yeah, this is card's unreal. But I don't think that that's going to be the style of Hunter going forward. You're not going to see a control Hunter, and that's where this would fit the best, right? Is a control Hunter deck. Right now my money's on it isn't going to be that good, and also my money's on if you pull this the first week, you're going to say, God dang it. The next card up, you guys, is Ravencaller. It's a 3-cost 2/1. And its battle cry is add 2 random 1-cost minions to your hand. Not much to say about this card, you guys. It's just not very good. The fact that they're super random, if it was Discover, maybe it would be a lot better. If you could discover, you know, 2 1-costs, that would be really cool. At least you have a chance to pick 2 cards you really need for that turn. It's just a super slow card. Not only is it 3 costs, but it's only a 2/1. And usually 2/1s are 1 cost anyways. So you're playing a 1 mana card that's for 3, plus you've got to play the other 2 1-cost minions. So now this card of stats that's looking like only 3 costs, you have to use 5 mana for it. It's not going to have a place unless Marsh Queen or whatever, that Hunter quest becomes a thing, and that's possible. I just don't see it becoming a very big possibility. This is definitely a filler. In Arena, it is a little better, I think, but again, in Arena, you're mostly going for tempo plays, and this just slows down your tempo. The big thing with this, guys, is that it's a 2/1. I would argue that this would be okay at 3/2, but it being a 2/1, it just makes it really nyeh. At turn 3 especially, you know, maybe if it was a turn 2 play, that would make it really good, but again, turn 3 just makes this not that great. I feel like with this set, they're like the last card, guys, they're trying to make certain quests that weren't very viable before more viable now in this next expansion. I'm not sure if they're doing it correctly, but we're gonna see, because the next card really helps out the old Paladin quest card. It is called Sound the Bells. It's a 2-cost, buff your minion +1/+2, and it's got Echo. Okay, so it's an okay buff, right? You playing this by yourself, say without Quest Paladin, it's okay. You know, especially if you're running Linessa, this would be cool, because then when you pull out your Linessa, you get all these buffs on it. That's really cool. I like that idea, but I just don't think it's good enough for it to be in a deck with Spellbreakers running around with so many Warlocks being out there. It's good if you spread it out, right? Like if you have a really thick board and you spread Sound the Bells out on turn 8, you know, and give everyone a little bit of something, that's pretty cool. I like that idea, but again, it's so situational. You have to have that thick board, you have to have Sound the Bells, and for this card to be in the deck in the first place is just kind of a waste, because if you don't get to pull it off right, it's a dead card. If you're not getting anything to stick on board, then there's no point of it, right? So if you're getting something to stick, say on turn 4 and it's turn 6, so you throw something down on turn 4 or on turn 6, that's a 4 cost, and then you sound the bells for 1, whoop-de-doo, right? yeah, on turn 10 you can make something a 5/10, which is huge, but again, with so many spell breakers running around, you guys, it's just not worth it. And then for, you know, say then on turn 11 you do a Linessa. Guys, we got to stop thinking all these magic plays in our head, because yes, it could happen, but there's 1,000 other plays that will probably happen. And yes, you'll see it on Trollden or whatever. You're going to see these crazy plays and it's going to make you want to do it. But for a competitive deck, it needs to be consistent. And this card is just not consistent. You need so many things. You need a board. You need the card, and you need your cards to stick also. Would it see play in aggro Paladin? Maybe. It might be good. But again, I just don't think it's going to see play at all. Again, you want consistency. That's every card that you put in a 30 card deck. You want it to be consistent. You want it to have a spot. And this card just seems like it could be dead too many times. On to the last card, you guys. It's a rogue card. It is a 2-cost Echo. Deal 2 damage to a minion. I actually like this card. It is getting a lot of flack. Not many people are liking it, but, you know, it is a good combo card. You know, it's great for, say, SI7 Agent. Yes, you usually want to play SI7 Agent on turn 2 or on turn 3 with, say, Coin or something else. But if you need something to activate combos, this is actually a very good card. Not only is it could be 10 damage, which is very nice in case you need to clear up that board, but it's also good for Auctioneer. You know, so for Miracle Rogue, this could be a possible card. The problem is Miracle Rogue has a lot of cards in it right now that aren't getting lost right now to the rotation, and a lot of times it's a very cutthroat deck of what you're placing into it. Maybe in a new tempo Rogue, but I think again it might be too slow, but it is still a okay card for Rogue. I think it is good. It might find a place in maybe Miracle or Tempo, but I do like that it can activate your combos when you need it. You can just clean the board off if you need that, or if you just want some card draw with Auctioneer, it can do that. Again, you do need Auctioneer to stick, because if you just play this, you don't get many cards off of it, but it's still okay. So you do need that Auctioneer to stick, and then wow, if you get that Auctioneer to stick, or say you do this and then prep into this, you know, or Auctioneer prep into this, it's okay. You can get technically 3 cards on turn 10. But other than that, it's an okay card. It's not too overpowered. It's not a game changer, but it does have a fit in a couple of decks. Guys, thank you so much for being here. You guys can catch me 5 days a week on Twitch TV. Also, if you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Think about subbing, and if you want to see anything else, guys, there's some videos right here for you guys. And don't forget, guys, to smile up a storm this week.